Hey, Red Dragons family. How's it going? This is your passionate supporter here, bringing you the 3 hottest Wrexham stories straight from the racecourse ground. If you're a fan of the team, make sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell, because today things are going to heat up, and I promise, the main news will blow your mind, so stick with me until the end. News 1. The future of Ollie Palmer. Let's start with a story that's left a lot of people confused and, honestly, a bit anxious. Ollie Palmer, the striker who has been a key figure for Wrexham, has been surrounded by rumours of leaving. But the situation is more complicated than it seems. In recent days, there have been whispers that Palmer might leave the club and move to a National League South team. Among the names mentioned was even Dorking Wanderers, which caused a lot of speculation among fans. But hold on, specialist journalists, like Nathan Salt and Rich Fay from the Rob Ryan Red podcast, confirmed that these reports are nothing more than rumours, and for now, this transfer isn't going to happen. The reality is that Palmer does have a few offers on the table, but they're from EFL clubs, which is a more competitive level and much more suited to his talent. He's taking his time to consider each option carefully, thinking not just about his career, but also about the right moment to make a move, if he decides to do so. And let's be honest, it's no surprise that Wrexham doesn't want to see him go. Ollie Palmer has been decisive in recent seasons, helping the team earn promotion, score crucial goals, and consolidate its place in the league. Even when he was left out of the match against Preston North End at the end of August, he kept working hard in training, showing commitment and leadership in the dressing room. Manager Phil Parkinson has commented that Ollie is fully engaged with the team, works hard every day, and wants to remain part of the Red Dragons project. Parkinson emphasised that Palmer contributes both on and off the pitch, and that his impact goes far beyond scoring goals. He inspires his teammates, keeps morale high, and helps to build a winning identity within the squad. In other words, this isn't just a simple player departure. If Ollie decides to leave, it will be a carefully considered decision, negotiated with attention, and will likely only happen if there's a genuinely attractive offer that makes sense for both the player and the club. Until then, he remains a key figure, and the fans are watching closely, hoping he stays to help Wrexham secure more wins and maintain their strong run in the league. In summary, Palmer is at the centre of a whirlwind, rumours popping up and disappearing, clubs showing interest, decisions to make, and Wrexham trying to plan ahead. For supporters, that means anxiety, anticipation, and hope that this star continues wearing the red shirt. After all, no one wants to lose a striker who's made such a big difference on the pitch, right? News 2. The race for the midfield. Now let's dive into one of the tensest stories for Wrexham at the moment, the battle for a midfield signing. The club has a clear target, Jordan James, a young and talented midfielder who has been impressing in France with starred Reynolds. But, as is often the case in football, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Ipswich Town, a strong rival, has also entered the race, making the story even more electrifying. Manager Phil Parkinson wants to finalise his 25-man squad before the transfer window closes on the 1st of September. Any misstep could undo weeks of planning. Every negotiation, every offer made or declined, directly impacts what Parkinson can assemble in the first team. Jordan James is seen as a key piece to bring creativity, control, and intensity to the Red Dragons midfield, so the manager is not willing to take risks. But it's not just about money or the manager's desire. Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, the club owners, have the final say. They have already helped Wrexham persuade other players to join the project, such as Lewis O'Brien, showing they can make a difference in negotiations. In other words, if their final decision is positive, Jordan James could end up wearing red and changing the team's outlook. If they say no, Parkinson will have to quickly look for alternatives, which could disrupt the club's entire strategy. Meanwhile, Wrexham continues to hunt for reinforcements. The club has already made 10 signings this summer, including midfielder Callum Doyle from Manchester City, but there are still gaps to fill, especially in the creative department. Every new signing excites the fans, who watch every move with anticipation. Bringing in a player like Jordan James isn't just about individual quality. He could change the team's rhythm, create opportunities, and even shape the way Wrexham plays for the rest of the season. And there's more, the competition is not standing still. Ipswich Town, a championship club, has its own reasons to persuade Jordan James to move. This includes sporting project, visibility, and chances to play important matches from the start. For Wrexham, the mission is to show that the club's ambition, the strength of the fans, and the recent growth make Racecourse Ground the ideal place for the young talent. So, the contest is fierce, and the tension is huge. Every call, every offer, and every meeting could decide Wrexham's future this summer. The fans are watching every move, fully aware of how important this signing is, and are already dreaming about the impact a player like Jordan James could have on the team. In short, it's a race against time, against rivals, and against the pressure of the transfer window itself. If Jordan James arrives, Wrexham's midfield could take on a whole new identity and make the team even more competitive. But until then, the anticipation only grows, and every supporter follows each step of this story with their heart in their mouth. News 3. The Big Midfield Challenge. And here we are with the hottest news of the day, folks, the one that will have every Wrexham supporter holding their breath. The club had been eyeing a Premier League midfielder, valued at around £3.5 million, to strengthen the midfield and give the team even more firepower. But, surprise! Andy Irving, the talented Scotsman, decided to reject the offer and not come to Wrexham. Now, all signs point to him potentially looking at Millwall instead, which leaves Phil Parkinson and the coaching staff in a tricky situation. This news is a real cold shower. Wrexham had already been investing heavily during the transfer window, counting on the arrival of an experienced player to provide balance, creativity, and physical presence in midfield. Andy Irving had all the credentials: international experience, time at solid clubs, and the ability to decide games with precise passes and vision. His refusal, therefore, is a heavy blow to Parkinson's plans. But, as always in football, there is hope. Jordan James, the young Welsh star, remains in Wrexham's sights and could be the perfect solution for this position. He has already been making waves in France with starred Reynolds and would be a fantastic addition, capable of bringing dynamism, creativity, and even goals from midfield. If the deal with James goes through, he could offset Irving's absence and even turn Wrexham into an even more dangerous side in the competition. Meanwhile, the season marches on, and the next challenge is just around the corner. Wrexham face Millwall this weekend. And guess what? There's a chance Irving could be on the other side, playing for the rival team. This adds an extra layer of tension and rivalry to the clash, making the match even more thrilling for the fans. Every pass, every move, will be closely watched, because Irving's story and his decision not to join Wrexham will be on everyone's mind. On top of that, the transfer window hasn't closed yet, so nothing is completely final. Last-minute surprises can happen, new targets may emerge, and Parkinson will have to adapt to keep the team balanced. The pressure is high, but it's also a moment full of opportunities. The chance to strengthen the midfield with young talent, to tweak strategies, and to show that Wrexham doesn't rely on just one player to fight for victories. In short, Andy Irving's refusal is a massive challenge, but it's not the end of the road. With Jordan James or another reinforcement yet to come, Wrexham have the chance to overcome this difficulty and strengthen their midfield for the rest of the season. Every decision now is crucial, every market move could define the team's course, and the fans are following it all with anticipation and excitement. What do you think, folks? Will Wrexham manage to overcome this setback and find the perfect midfielder to fight for victories? So, folks, here are today's 3 hottest Wrexham stories. Ollie Palmer with an uncertain future, but weighing offers from EFL clubs. The midfield race with Jordan James and the weight of Reynolds and McElhenney's decision. And the big twist, Andy Irving rejects Wrexham, opening the door for new talents to emerge. So, which of these stories got to you the most? Comment below, because I'll read and reply to everyone. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. On this channel, you'll stay updated on everything happening with the Red Dragons, from training to blockbuster signings. See you in the next video.